Hello guys, this is Jones10395 with another homemade video for you today. This will be of my crossbow Mark II. So this is just an updated and upgraded version of the crossbow you saw a week and a half ago. All I did to this was add rails, do a couple of internal mods, and then this thing on the end, which I'll talk about in a little bit. I'm going to start back here with the rail. What I had to do to add this was take off this little kind of L-shaped arm I had here that would press down on the bolt so I can shoot from any angle. I removed that and it opened up a lot of space here, so I glued on a plastic rail, which is the one from up here, and that allows me to put on a bunch of stuff like this holographic sight, which you will see me shooting with it on later in the video, but I'm not going to put it on right now. I couldn't find the charging handle, and I was going to glue it in place here just to make it look better and not have this big gaping hole back there. But I couldn't find the plastic charging handle. I only have metal ones, and I'm not about to put a metal one on there when I can use it for a spare part that I might need later on. I changed out the pin right here, which used to be the pin from the gearbox to this airsoft gun, but that pin kept falling out because it didn't have enough to grip onto, so I decided to put a nail through here. And the head on this side, head on that side stops it from coming through, and this bend stops it from moving or shimmying at all, so there's no playing it, and you don't have to worry about resetting that pin a lot. And another thing I did here was I put rubber bands on this instead of a spring. You can see my finger right there. So it's a nice smooth trigger pull instead of a clicky one I had when the spring was in there. And up here, for when you shoot the bolt or the crossbow, I added this whisker biscuit since I took off the L-shaped arm here, because this just makes it a lot more consistent in the pattern to where you can actually aim it, and it's got a nice tighter group. Before I had this, the group was probably 3 feet, but now it's probably down to a foot, which isn't a good group, but it is a homemade crossbow, and it's not supposed to actually hit anything, so it's just kind of cool to have around. But the internals have changed. You can, or barely changed, but you can take off this pin just like you would any other M16 or AR-15 style gun, and it comes apart, and you can see the internals. Here's the lower receiver. I'm going to remove the front pin to make this easier on me and the camera so I don't bang it up as much. The mechanism, there's only 2 parts to this mechanism. It's really simple and easy, and it works every time. All it is just a little wooden block here with a hole drilled through it for my nail, which is the trigger, and you can see it poking out on that end. And there's enough friction to where this doesn't move anywhere. No matter how hard I pull, the nail won't move anywhere, so it's got enough friction. But I drilled this hole a little bit bigger because the nail is the same size hole, or the nail is the same size for here and the trigger. So I had to drill this one a little bit bigger so it would be a really nice smooth trigger pull. There's all those rubber bands I was talking about. And I put a screw into the magazine well right there to hold the rubber bands, so it's nice and smooth. So that's the only change I did to the bottom. Whoops. And the top, upper receiver rather, is where the obviously other part of the mechanism is, right here. It's really simple, and that's all it is. So when I pull the trigger away, see how that'll be able to move, so it'll go backwards, but on the top it'll be opposite, and then it'll release the string. So that's how the mechanism works. It's very simple and easy. If you wanted to try to make your own, it's hard, but once you get the mechanism done, it starts getting really easy. So we're going to shoot this bad boy now. Before you shoot this, we obviously have to reload it, so I'm going to dry fire it. I realize you're not supposed to dry fire any real bow, but this isn't real, so I'm going to dry fire anyways. So once you have shot off your bolt, you're going to reset the mechanism here, which holds the string, in this case a bungee rope. The trigger resets automatically since it's always under tension. You're going to pull the string, or once again bungee rope, out from underneath this bolt, which catches it so it doesn't hit your hand or anything underneath it, and you're simply going to pull it back. Obviously the crossbow will be shouldered during all of this. Gonna set it on top of this mechanism right there, and then you're gonna pick up your bolt and set it into the whisker biscuit right there, which is just a toothbrush. and then you are ready to shoot. So I have it cocked, and I'm just going to put the bolt in the whisker biscuit here right now and shoot it at that white piece of cardboard with the holographic sight on it. Just cock it like you would any other crossbow, except you don't need to put your foot in a stirrup because it's not like you're dealing with a lot of weight here, or yeah, poundage. Goes straight and always goes like at least an inch into that piece of cardboard, which is pretty beat up because I've been shooting it a lot down here, testing it out, because it shoots a lot more consistent with that whisker biscuit in there. And I almost hit the last bolt I just shot. You can also put a sling on here. The sling mounts are still there on the butt and the fore end, but I choose not to because after all it is plastic, and even though it looks strong, it'll probably break if you decide to put a sling on it and run around town with it on your back. So I decided not to do that. Alright, we're going to try some first person shots here. I'm going to try to line it up with the camera and shoot it. You can see the whisker biscuit through there. There we go. Decided not to turn the holographic sight on because it looks really weird on the camera. So I didn't want to blind you guys. But let's try and hit that again. There we go, that went straight and fast. And these can go up to 60 feet without having to arc it or lob it. The bolts, that is. There we go. They kind of look weird when they try to stick into the cardboard because there's so many holes. They don't know. They don't know which one to go in. I didn't mean for that to sound weird. If anyone else caught that. There you go.